Welcome back to another episode of Who Got the Aux. I figured this would be the perfect episode to talk about traveling, the importance of traveling. So I've made videos about this before, but I felt it was only fitting to go more in detail since I'm traveling. So this is going to be my background for this episode. I'm enjoying myself. I am at an undisclosed location. No, we're in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We went to this resort that we went to before. I'm actually going to make a video on how I won that first resort coming at the end of the month. Has something to do with the Ellen show. But anyway, I wanted to dive in on importance. So the video I made before, it was more like, just the importance of leaving where you are, right? Just going somewhere, saving up some money. It doesn't have to be somewhere exotic. It doesn't have to be somewhere far. It could be somewhere close, just getting into that energy of maybe getting on a plane, a train, a bus. I grew up riding Greyhound buses with my grandma for the longest. I didn't take my first plane till I was like 16 years old and never went back to a Greyhound. But just checking into hotels and just having that energy. It's an energy. I could tell you, Bianca jokes all the time. One of my favorite things is checking into a hotel. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go anywhere. I just like the energy of checking into a hotel. So I figured I made a couple of videos about that. So I figured I'll go in detail on like how you can actually enjoy a vacation. Because we were watching people doing these excursions, and excursions are like, kayaking, dirt biking, yoga, all these resorts, wherever you go, they have different classes of things you can do, making ceviche. And I realized that I'm on the other side. I like to just relax. Right. I like to just hang out, enjoy the view, have some good food, chill by the pool, drinks. I don't need to be like, there are people, this is the ocean behind me, but there are people that are kayaking probably. It's a rock, big rock. I could barely see it from our patio, and that's an excursion. People are paying to kayak in the ocean. No borders, no boundaries. You see in a kayak, these little ass boats. And I was like, that's not fun to me. That's not fun to me. On top of that, we saw a stingray just jump out of the water. So there's that, but there's different ways to enjoy yourself. Some people feel like if they're not doing the extreme things, are they really on a vacation, right? They feel guilty for, we traveled all this way and we're just going to sit. But that's a vacation too. Like when we were younger, I don't want to say we were younger, I'm still young, but like in our 20s, I don't think I did excursions then either. I don't think so. But, I know people who like to do the dirt bikes, kayaking, the zip lining, the parachute, bungee jumping, all that stuff. That's cool if you like to do it. I'm not talking crap about it. But I'm going to discuss the different things you can do that I just said. So one of the ways that I like to do is soaking in the atmosphere, right? We do have a screen door. This whole time, I wanted to open this nice door. And I thought we didn't have a screen door. We do have a screen door. I just found that out. Anyway, the ambiance, right? Like just getting there, getting to your room, having breakfast on your patio, sleeping on the hammock, just taking walks and strolls, eating at the restaurants, and just kind of looking and absorbing it. Because I always said that, I feel like life is about, I always have to say this before I say these things. It's not a philosopher thing or I'm saying something new, but I feel like life is about living in the moment, right? Living in the moment. So what does that mean when you hear that? Well, to me, it's what I'm doing right now, just soaking it in, because 2 months from now, I'm not going to vividly remember this. 3 months from now, I have a couple of memories. 6 months from now, a year from now, I'll remember the highlight points, right? But that's what it's about. It's instead of, I've been coming up with this every time we travel. I was like, we take pictures, but I feel like pictures is a hindrance because it allows you to live in the past instead of trying to work to create those moments in the present and for the future, right? As long as you can go back and just scroll through, that kind of fulfills something that allows you to stay dormant for a little bit longer instead of, taking a picture, showing them offshore, sharing it with the family. But then it's rare that I go back and look at pictures from places I went, because once that urge builds up again, I rather release it by actually going somewhere than looking at the pictures. So I do like live mental pictures in the sense where I'm just, you get checked in, you get caught up in a rat race, you do what you got to do. But at some point, you want to just sit still and just kind of lay back and just, like, dang, like I think about where I came from, like from Memphis and Detroit growing up. And, like I say, first playing was 16, only place I really been out the country is Mexico. I still haven't even traveled that way yet, which is in the future. But I just sit back and I'm like, bro, you came a long way. Like, sure, I wasn't I don't have the rapper story selling drugs in the streets, mama on drugs and crack, of course not, but that's not the only barrier of coming from the bottom, right? And so I sit here, we're sitting here, these infinity pools in the ocean and views and all that, and you just soak that in and you live it. And it's for that moment. That's what it's for. It's for that moment. It's not to live in the past, and it's not for you to try to think of the future. It's just right there. Just soak it in. Think about your story. Think about who you are. Think about where you came from. Think about what it took for you to get here. And think about, people that you may have left behind. Not left behind, but, as you grow, you hear those quotes, you're going to change. All those quotes about changing and leaving people behind. Just be like, dang, like I'm here. I'm here. And especially when you're in places where, you don't really see too many. Then it's like, all right, cool. I'm making them plant that flag. Like, oh, we come here too. We know about this too. Right? That's a personal thing for me. But, yes, living in a moment when you're eating the food, really, because at home, wherever you're from, you get caught up in lunch. You got your favorite spot around the corner. You got your job. You're eating. But slow it down. Really look. Like I think for breakfast today, I had an assortment of fruits, papaya and pineapples and some eggs, and we had it on this balcony looking over the ocean. It was just like, that's dope. I don't need to share it. I haven't posted anything since I've been here online. I don't need to tell anybody. It's for me. It's for me. It's doing something for me. And that is one of the advantages of traveling, not only to somewhere tropical, but just out of your comfort zone. You hear new things. You hear different accents. You eat different foods. You see different architecture. You walk different streets. Everything's different, which adds to the layer and characters of you. I always say I had the advantage of the fact that I grew up in Detroit. I grew up in Memphis, and now most of my young adulthood, all of my young adulthood to now has been in California. So like I've had the Midwest experience, down south Bible Belt experience, West Coast progressive worldly experience, and just built layers. I've seen a lot of architecture. I've heard a lot of accents. I mean, hell, I lived in 3 different time zones. I've celebrated New Year's 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Or actually, no, I haven't done. Is Detroit Eastern? Detroit is Eastern. Yes. So I've done it first on the New York. I've celebrated Memphis on the Central, and I've done it on the West Coast. So it's like just those little things, man. That's like, I hate when people get online and just try to tell you traveling is important. They tell you traveling is important, but they don't really give you the reason why. And I feel like what better place to do it while I'm doing it to tell you how I'm feeling right now, the experience that I'm having, right? And then the other way of doing the traveling is what I said, and there's nothing wrong with it. The excursions, the fun, the dirt bikes, the kayaks, the zip lining and all that. And I see a lot of people do that, and trust me, it looks fun. It looks great. I would never do it. Just because I have this thing. It's like, if I was to leave this earth, I would hate for it to be unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like let me save somebody, natural causes, whatever. But zip lining when I don't have to, parachuting when I don't have to, kayaking in the ocean when I don't have to. I just don't have to. And sure, I'm sure the death rate is too, low. Everyone makes it back, but that's just my mindset. Like, I'd rather go with a purpose. So I don't do it, but we saw people kayaking, and they started drifting. Like, there's no barriers out here. Like, you just out here. That water could take you. The instructors, I think our resort has instructors, but I think there were some people just on the beach hustling, like, yo, we got kayaks, because they just let them go and walked away. Nobody went with these people. I'm like, why would y'all? And the old girl was black too. I was like, girl, sister, come home. I was like, you ain't supposed to be doing it. But that's the other way. Now, of course, that's a more financial burden way. You're going to be spending a lot of money. And I think that's kind of why I drifted to the relaxing, because, you know, your trips can be very short when you run out of money. You understand? So once you learn how to enjoy a vacation without spending too much money, that's like a cheat code, I think. And then I did this whole all-inclusive thing for the first time, like these little wristbands and stuff, bro. I've been eating. I was joking because I don't drink that much, and I was like, it would be me that get an all-inclusive and feel sick off the food and not drinking too much alcohol. But that's what it's been, though. They eat a lot of good food, not bad food, a lot of restaurants. And that's another tip too. I think I got to make another YouTube video on like the pros, the tips for traveling. This is my first time ever doing it. Game changer. It handles everything: food, drinks, tips, everything. Snacks. We at the pool, we order food. We in our room doing room service. We going to dinners. Just put your room number on. Fantastic. And the price wasn't that crazy. I booked this back in March. Price is not that crazy. Like, it looks crazy when you book, but then when you get here and do your thing, you're like, oh yeah, that was well worth the little bump that they offered. So that would be one of my biggest tips if you're traveling. But again, it doesn't have to be this. People assume that it has to be Bora Bora and you know, south of France and all that. No, like if you're from Memphis, go to Atlanta, go to Florida, go to Austin, Texas. Heard that place was nice. I've never been. Go to San Antonio. If you're in Michigan, go to New York, go to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Quick flights. Out here on the West Coast, Seattle, Washington, Seattle, Denver. I'm missing one of the Pacific Northwest, Portland. You know, for here, I've driven to Vegas a few times, Arizona. Like, you just start off small, but just, you know, plan it. Again, I have a video. I'm going to post a card up. I think it's over here on how to plan for a typical, simple weekend trip. And, yeah, man, just start, you know. You'll realize the money you spend out on food and shoes and all the other bull crap that brings you joy for like 0.3 seconds. You can pocket that money and put it away, save, and, you know, start leaving where you're from. Start small, go big, however you want to do it. But I highly recommend it. I'm over here sweating. It's a little humid out here. We got a ceiling fan, but whew, feels good though. I'm enjoying myself. I'm glad I was able to pack all this and bring it out here, all my equipment. I didn't want to skip a day or leave y'all hanging with content. And also I wanted to capture this too, just to kind of put message, or what's the word, put something to your message. How do you say that? When someone has a message, but then they put it to use, whatever that phrase is, that's what I'm trying to do for inspiration, right? So yeah, appreciate y'all being here with me. Was this a little low? I'm gonna turn it up. I hope it wasn't too low. Obviously I'm not in my studio at the house with all my sound stuff, so we're doing this on the wing. Hopefully this sounds great. Appreciate y'all for listening. WhoGotTheAux.com, full audio episodes, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhoGotTheAux, one word, WhoGotTheAux_ Twitter. Appreciate you watching, listening, subscribers. We at 99. Who's going to be my 100th? That was my goal this year, is to get to 100. We almost there. TikTok, we almost at 10,000 likes. I'm at like 50 some likes away. Who going to go like my videos? You know, ask for nothing all year on purpose, but you know, if I can hit my goals, that'd be dope. It ain't no company. I ain't going to get no bonus money or nothing like that, but it's just something that I put forth at the beginning of the year, and it looks like we're going to hit it, hopefully. If you haven't subscribed or liked anything, I'll ask you for these next 2 weeks to show me some love, man. Appreciate it. I will see y'all at the next episode, and I'm going to go back to enjoying this vacation. See y'all soon. Peace.